So, the Singularity. Oh boy. It's a fun weapon. It has a cool weapon design, it has a cool sound design, even has a cool playstyle to come along with it. It's also the first 5-star weapon released in MoCo, and it's hard for a reason. The same reason I haven't even considered playing it. Until now. Is it worth it to learn the Singularity? Personally, no. But how about you see for yourself and join me in a journey as we learn how to use the Singularity in MoCo. So the journey will be separated into 3 days. Each day will be doing something different. Day 1 is gonna be finishing all of the dojos. So we start off with the Basic Dojo, and this dojo is pretty easy to beat. I just beat it in 2 tries. But if you want to beat it in the first try, you should learn the main damage combo. This combo is gonna be the main way for you to deal damage. So the combo is attack, dash, wait. So you throw your attack, you dash into your attack instantly, and then you wait a couple of milliseconds. This is gonna be your main way of damaging with Singularity, and because you're dashing a lot, you're gonna be playing this weapon like a melee weapon. This deals more damage than just throwing your main attacks, so get used to being up on the monsters' faces. And you just need to throw your other abilities willy-nilly. It's fine, as long as you learn this basic combo, you'll be able to beat the Basic Dojo. Now that we're done with the Basic Dojo, we can move on to the hardest dojo, the Intermediate Dojo. Man, before I say how hard this dojo is, you need to learn the burst combo. This is gonna be the most damaging combo that you can do with the Singularity, and it has 2 variants. The first variant is the easy burst combo, and it goes like attack, pull, attack, pop, attack, dash. So this is easier because it's easier to land these skill shots, requires less timing, so you're able to execute this one much more consistently. It doesn't deal the most damage, but it is very consistent. Contrasting to the previous combo is this next combo. This is gonna be the most damage burst combo. And it goes like attack, dash, attack, pull, attack, pop, attack, dash. So the difference between this combo is that you dash first before you pull. This is harder because if you dash into the monster's faces, the moment you throw your attack, you have to instantly click your pull and instantly click your pop. And since you're on the monster's faces, if you mistime it a little bit, your pull will not be able to pull all of the targets. So that's why this combo is harder, but this combo has 1 more attack and 1 more dash compared to the previous combo. So this will deal more damage if you can execute it. Another thing to note is the pull ability is the best ability in Singularity. You need to use it to deal damage, and you could also use it to stun monsters, especially like in this dojo where the monsters have a wind-up ability. So you can cancel that wind-up ability using the pull. With this ability, you want to make sure you want to hit. That's why the easy burst combo is like much more reliable, because it's so much easier to hit the pull with the easy burst combo compared to the most damage burst combo. This one's the hardest one by far. The only tip I can give you is keep both NPCs alive until the 3rd wave. It's kind of hard to do this, but obviously you can use your heal. But another thing is splitting the aggro, because if all the monsters in one group attack one NPC, it will kill that NPC and then it will kill the next one. So you ideally want half of the monsters to attack the one NPC, and then the other half of the monsters attack the other NPC. And if one of your NPCs died because it got targeted by all of the monster in that group, then just reset and just keep trying. This one took me like about 20 minutes to beat, so don't be ashamed if you beat this in like an hour or something. You can do it. And finally, we conclude day 1 with the Expert Dojo, and this one is not as hard as the Intermediate Dojo, but it's still like quite challenging. So the main thing you should learn to beat this dojo is using the main damage combo for movement. So remember the combo we learned in Basic Dojo? The attack, dash, wait? Well, you just use that one, but for movement. The way you use it is to throw your attack and then wait for it to reach maximum distance. And when it reaches maximum distance, you dash into it, and then you wait for a while, and then you throw another attack. And the wait is like, compared to the previous damage combo, can be a little bit shorter. Sometimes you don't even need to wait, but it's good practice to just wait a little bit so that you can consistently dash without like missing it. You're gonna need to learn this movement combo for the Expert Dojo. So the way you just beat this dojo is to use the movement combo to move around the map and trigger monster aggro. Once the monster aggro gets triggered, they will be pulled towards the black hole, and then you just wait a couple of seconds, I would say maybe 10, and then you can do the burst combo, either the easy or the most damage burst combo. I would recommend using the easy burst combo as I've shown here, and it will kill all of them. And then after all of the monsters are dead, you just kill the black hole. And I would say don't go into the hitbox of the black hole. It deals a lot of damage. So just do the main damage combo to deal damage to the black hole, but don't get close to it. And you'll be able to beat it easily. I think I beat it in like 5 minutes of trying. Not super difficult, and you can definitely do it. Alright, day 1 finished. Let's move on to day 2. Day 1 was pretty hard, so we'll take it easy here on day 2, and we'll just be doing our dailies here. First and foremost, we have the daily rift. Yeah, not really much here in daily rift. The only thing I would say is that this is going to be a preparation for the next day, which is going to be all elite rifts for that week. Daily rift is something that's very easy for any weapon to complete, although it took me 2 tries to beat this daily, so it's not guaranteed to be first try. But I think the way you just beat these rifts is to find the rhythm with the main damage combo. Remember, when you attack and then you dash, you have a little time to wait. Use that waiting time to dodge some boss attacks, and then you use the teleport or the dash to change your positions, make it easier to dodge shots. And I think you just have to like get used to that rhythm. Otherwise, you just hope that you get a good weapon to go along with you. In this case, a solo boss rift, you'd ideally want to have a teammate with a weapon that's good for single target, like Technofists and Squid Blades, but you can still beat this rift. And that's it for the daily rift. Move on to the expedition, and this weapon is pretty good in expeditions, mainly due to the combination of like good movement with your movement combo, good utility too with your heal, can heal like NPCs, and the pull. It's good for pulling and stunning a couple of monsters and then doing a boatload of damage. The only like not good thing about this weapon is it doesn't deal that much boss damage. If you're farming for mega charge or overcharged bosses, you're not gonna get as much cores, because from what I know, you get more cores and you get more XP the more damage you contribute to bosses. So you're not gonna be able to get that much cores, but you still get healing, so it's not that bad. Still pretty good in expedition. Yeah, it's also it's really bad against guards, because when you throw your attack, the guards block your attack and then it just removes your attack, so you can't, use your abilities. Whenever you're facing against guards, you want to proc the pull just before your attack hits the shield, so that they get stunned and their shield goes down, and then you can do the combo. Final tip in expedition is you just use your dash to like dash across walls. This is obvious, like if you play Singularity a lot, this is gonna be like in the tips in the loading screen, but you can use your dash across walls. Not every wall, I would say. Thicker walls you can't like TP across, it's gonna be harder, but thinner walls like in the corner walls and across rivers, across gaps, that's pretty good for dashing. And that's about it for expedition, I think. And that ends our day 2, honestly. Very chill day. After the dojo was quite hard, this is gonna be easy, but day 3. Day 3 is gonna be hell. So this is day 3 and we're gonna be completing all 6 elite rifts, and my only rule for this day is I can only play with randoms. We start off rift 1 and I already broke the rules. Just for context, right, the raw footage of me just playing this rift and trying again with randoms is like 1 hour and 5 minutes. For comparison, rifts 2 to 6, 5 rifts, 40 minutes. The moment the recording said 1 hour, I was like, this is a waste of time. Let's not continue doing this. Just move on. I had to get help in the end. I asked Chris from Supercell PH and this random guy called Edna. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for pulling me out of my misery. The Singularity struggles with this rift specifically, mainly because this is a 2+ boss rift. 2+ boss rifts don't have as much HP as a solo boss rift, but also there's 3 of them, so you have to find the perfect timing to hit all 3 of them with your pull. And also you have to kind of read 3 boss attacks so you can time your dodge and dashes, which is not gonna happen. 3 bosses is way too difficult to dodge, so you're gonna be taking a lot of damage. But also aside from the Singularity not being good with these types of rifts, you have to take into account randoms. They will play random weapons too, so makes it more difficult. Yeah, Singularity is not good with 2+ boss rifts, but you know, if you have teammates to back you up, then you can beat any map theoretically. We move on to Rift 2, and Rift 2 is super easy actually. It took me only first try to beat this Rift, and that kinda says that the Singularity is not bad against single targets. Although the Rift itself is pretty easy, there is another solo boss Rift later down the Rifts, and I think the reason why Singularity is not super bad in solo boss Rifts is you can easily read attack patterns. So you can throw your skill shots and time your dashes accordingly. There's two things to note for this Rift. Number one is that whenever you're dashing, you actually get iframes or invincibility frames. When you throw your attack and you dash into attack, there is a small window where you disappear off the map before you appear in the dashed position. You can use this to completely be invincible from boss attacks. The thing though is it is a very tight timing, and number two, it doesn't really work on multi-hit attacks. So it's gonna be hard to do it sometimes, but keep in mind you can do that. I think for how hard the Singularity is, they should be buffing the damage at least. There is a lot more nuances in how to buff the Singularity. In this case for Rift 2, if you want to make the Singularity better on solo bosses, then you could buff the damage of the main attack or even buff the damage of the dash. Singularity should at least deal more damage consistently than the speed shot, and it's one of the many routes that the MoCo devs can take to buff the Singularity, because I do think that the Singularity needs a buff. So we have Rift 3, which is a duo boss. This is very similar to Rift 1, which has the same problems with Rift 1, wherein it's going to be hard to use the Singularity in this one, and does reflect that because Rift 3 is the second most tries with a whopping 6 tries. And this winning try, honestly a very surprising win with the Venom Bow. I completely went into this final attempt, I was like, okay, we're gonna lose this one, but I'm just gonna play it till the end, and we actually beat it till the end. So shout out to this Venom Bow guy, pretty good, man. The way that you can beat this Rift 3 is, it's very stupid to say, but it's just focus on staying alive. And this is kind of hard with the Singularity because you kind of have a lot of things to focus on. You have to focus on hitting your skill shots, your pull, the heal, the pop, and then you have to focus timing your dashes so that you don't get hit a lot. And sometimes you prioritize skill shots over your life, which you should not be doing. The way I lost to the previous rifts was me dying. So specifically in this rift, just stay alive. But yeah, this kind of says that the Singularity is really just bad in 2+ boss rifts. And I don't know if there's a solution to this one. People are asking to give Singularity manual aiming so that they can more consistently hit skill shots. While that is a buff they could take, it's not really gonna solve the damage problem of the Singularity. The problem is not the skill shots are hard to land. The problem is that they don't even do that much damage if you land them. Specifically the pop ability and specifically the heal from the heal ability. So if they just buff the damage of the other abilities of Singularity, I think it makes it a little bit more worth it to land those skill shots. Rift 4 though is something that the devs could look into in terms of buffing the Singularity. So Rift 4 is the Van Rift, and I would consider this a NPC Rift. So these types of rifts are identifiable by the fact that there's NPCs you have to protect. So in these types of rifts, weapons with healing and weapons with taunts are going to be a little bit more valuable. This rift specifically took me 3 tries, and this is a very interesting one because this is definitely one of the aspects that you can buff with the Singularity, and this has to do with the healing. So the way I see the heal ability is it's more of a supplemental healing, and it's not really a keeping alive healing, which is something that they could buff for this rift, because in this rift specifically, you want to keep the NPCs alive if they're being attacked. One way they could rework the healing is allow the healing to do damage. The healing is proportional to how many monsters gets damaged by that healing circle. The way I'm thinking about it is, if you hit 1 or no monsters, then it does the healing it does now. If it hits 2 to 4 monsters, it does a little bit more healing. And then if it hits 5 or more monsters, it does max healing. That could help these types of rifts where if an NPC is being targeted by multiple monsters, then you can heal them for a bigger amount. This doesn't help though the fact that if they're being targeted by a single boss, it's not going to heal that much, but there are other ways they can rework this. They could make the healing healing over time. It has more healing, but it heals over time. Or they could just, simply reduce the cooldown. anything works if they really want to increase the power of Singularity in these NPC rifts. Because as it stands right now, the Singularity is not really that good in NPC rifts. Specifically in this van, the Singularity is not healing the van at all. That healing that Singularity does is nothing to the van. So Rift 5 is a combination of a couple of different rifts. It has one big solo boss in the middle. It spawns a couple of multiple bosses in the sides, and then it spawns medium monsters and swarm monsters. So I thought the Singularity would be good in these types of rifts, specifically rifts with a lot of swarm and a lot of medium monsters. But this one took me the third most tries. It took me 5 tries to beat this one, and I don't know if Singularity is good in medium monster rifts and swarm rifts, but it should be. It should theoretically be. The damage of like the pull and the pop, it deals a lot of damage. Maybe I just got unlucky. After this video, I did try playing Singularity, and the Singularity is not really as good in like medium monster rifts. And when I say medium monster rift, these are rifts that have 4 or more like medium monsters like chargers, frost chargers, and jumpers. The Singularity is not really that good as I thought it would back when it released. I think the Singularity should be good in these types of rifts, but it's not, so I think they should buff something to make them good in these types of rifts. And one thing I could propose is, can we just buff the pop damage? I know the cooldown of the pop is like 4 seconds and it's like really fast. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It doesn't really contribute that much to the combo. As cool as the pop and pull combo is, it's mostly pull, because pull is doing majority of the damage, pull is doing the pulling, pull is doing the stunning, and the pop ability is just an add-on. So I don't know why the pop is disproportionately like weaker, and I think they should at least buff the damage of the pop, make it like closer to the damage of the pull, maybe even more, something like that. Or if they don't want to buff the damage, give it utility, maybe give it stun, maybe give it knockback. Knockback might not be good, but they could. Maybe do more damage the more monsters get hit by the pop. Something like that where like, you know, it's worth it to throw the pop, because as it stands right now, the pop is just little bit of bonus damage. Doesn't really give Singularity anything. The Singularity should be good in these types of rifts, but it's not, which is kinda sad. Doesn't really have a good niche, really. And finally, we have the final rift. So this is the one that flies, the boss with wings. This is a solo boss, and as we've established, Singularity is not really bad against solo bosses. Actually, its solo bosses is the best rifts for Singularity, and it reflects in this one. This one only took me 2 tries, which kind of sucks where like when you look at it from a glance, the abilities, the playstyle, it looks like it should be good in rifts with a lot more monsters, but as it stands right now, it's only really good in solo boss rifts, and it's not even that good. You just barely outdamage the speed shot, and it kind of sucks because the speed shot actually fulfills the role that I expected of Singularity. The speed shot is super good against medium monster rifts and not bad in solo rifts. Meanwhile, the Singularity is a little bit theoretically potentially better. It's like a potential man, and it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks because the Singularity, for all intents and purposes, it's a really good weapon, man. Has a cool weapon design, check. Cool playstyle, check. Unique playstyle, check. First 5-star that actually makes sense and is very fun to play and is very rewarding when you learn how to play it, check. It's such a good first 5-star weapon, and it's just a good 5-star weapon in general, but it's being held back by its stats. For how difficult it is, it can barely outdamage a speed shot. It's not even good in modes where it's supposed to be good at, which is the medium monster game modes and the multiple monster game modes. And although it's a bummer, I think it is kind of worth it to learn it, because if you do learn it, it is very fun to play actually. It is very fun to play. In terms of fun aspect, you should learn the Singularity if you're curious about the Singularity. Maybe you like the design, maybe you're very interested in the playstyle, maybe you just want to learn all weapons or you want to master every weapon. Learning the Singularity is really worth it actually, because it's so fun when you can actually learn the weapon. Even right now, it's like 2 weeks after I recorded this video, I've been using Singularity occasionally and it's really fun. And it's kinda sad because if you looked at it practically, it is really weak. So the question of the video, is the Singularity actually good? Nope, but should you learn the Singularity? Honestly, for me, Yeah, I think you should. And you're probably gonna regret it, but not really. It's very fun. So, thank you guys for watching this video. It took me a long time to edit this one and to record and stuff. I will be making more videos like this, but as I'm recording this, season 2 is about to start tomorrow, so this took me so long. And I'll be making a similar video like this about the new weapon. I'm planning on getting the Bloodsucker, so expect the Bloodsucker soon. But for now, this has been Haas, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.